So I left the MTC on Sunday, and that is very, very rare. Most people don't leave the MTC on Sunday. They leave on Monday or on Tuesday or even on Wednesday. And so it was quite the shock, I guess, for the travel office at the MTC. Me and one other elder and I went to the airport together. And so we jumped in the MTC van and drove to the airport, and we got to the airport, and the MTC worker left, and we went to check in, and the lady asked us where our visa was. And we said, we don't know. And so we had to go back to the MTC and get our visas, and we ended up leaving a day later. And the trip took 28 hours. We flew from the MTC in Utah to Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles to New Zealand, and from New Zealand to Port Vila, the capital of Vanuatu, or on the main island called Ifate. And flying in, I flew into Vanuatu. It was 4 months after Cyclone Pam, and Cyclone Pam, they say that it smashed Port Vila, the main capital. And when I flew in, there were no trees taller than me probably, and it was completely just destroyed. And it was almost kind of disappointing, I guess, to fly in there and be like, oh, this isn't as pretty as I imagined. It was still beautiful. It was still an island, and the ocean was there, but it had definitely, you could tell that it had been hit by a cyclone, and there was a lot of damage that was done. When we got off the plane, you could feel the humidity like that. It just hit you like a wave. And we walked down from the airplane onto the tarmac and walked into the smallest airport I had ever seen at that point in my life. And we got our luggage, which they threw through. They took off the airplane and threw it onto a little tiny conveyor belt, I guess, that went around. Picked up our luggage, and we walked out onto the other side of the airport, and that's where the mission president and the two travel elders were waiting for us. And we hopped inside the mission van, and we drove straight to the mission office, where we had our interviews with the mission president and met the other office missionaries. And then the assistants to the president, two elders that helped the president, took us on a little tour around the island of Ifate, and we were able to see a little bit more of what Vanuatu really looks like behind the resorts and the cruise excursions. And then after that, we went to the mission president's house and had an arrivals dinner, where we were able to talk with the president a little bit more and his wife and get to know them. And then we were sent to our areas. And that night, I met my first companion, who was from the Solomon Islands. And the day after that, we got to work.